Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to crumble!
I'm Joshua Kemble, and welcome to Joshua Kemble's Livestream. I've been a freelance illustrator and graphic designer for over 20 years. I was an art director for 9 years. And when I'm not art directing and working on illustrations and graphic designs, I'm working on comic books and graphic novels, and that's usually what I do during my streams. And while conversations can go all over the place on this stream, from spicy and entertaining to goofy and silly, one thing stays consistent throughout every stream. I'll always be working on art. So pull up a chair, get your art supplies out, and get ready for an entertaining show that'll keep you company while you work on your own personal art projects. This is Joshua Kemble's Art Stream. All right, guys, welcome to episode 423 of my live stream. I am here from the Crestline cabin at our little Crestline art meetup. And in the room, not visible, are Jim Lujan, Gary Hodges, Corey Kerr, Scott Cirkland, Scott Lost, and Keith Foster, who's, I believe, taking a nap at this point. And we're hanging out working on art. So I was going to do a live stream while I work on, I think I'll be working on Not Death But Love, The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, which is, I'm working on page 163 of that. And then in the background, you're going to hear a lot of people talking and hanging out. And this is where I'm going to pan around and show you. I was making it up all along. See, I'm in a room alone. Check this out. They're all in my head. No, I'm just kidding. So we're just going to hang out and work. I think Jim's working on his animations. Scott is working on his comic. We got Scott Cirkland is working on his cover and I think filming it. So you'll be able to check that out on YouTube. And then we got Corey Kerr, who is having a liquid death water.
I know everybody else is working on something and I'm eating.
Yeah. Corey's been working like a madman.
Corey continues to consume.
The irony of it is, like, this whole meetup, Corey's been probably the most productive of all of us. Like, last night, he'd be like, I finished page 1. And then it's like 20 minutes later, he's like, I finished page 2. Like, he's finished like 4 pages in like the span of like yesterday. And now the one time I'm live streaming, he's like eating.
Plus, he doesn't sound like that.
Yeah. No, that actually is what Corey sounds like in person.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's with all these pages? What's with all these pages?
Why do they call them comic books? Signing out. Let me get to the screen where you can see what I'm working on. And I had it pulled up, and I don't know what happened. There it is. So we're just gonna hang out, work on stuff while I'm here, and hopefully this will show. Is this not working? Now it's not transferring screens. Let me double check my settings here.
What's that working?
Edit settings. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, let's try that. There we go. So I had to switch the camera to OBS. Sorry, I'm on like a mobile setup here, so my nice frame and all that stuff are gone. If you're watching, let me know what you guys are up to. And should be pretty fun. We've had wild conversations about all sorts of things.
Some of us lose their wallets.
Yeah, some people lost their wallets.
But then they were found.
They were found and Instagrammed to the wallet loser, and yet we're waiting for an update. So stay tuned to find out if we wind up finding out how to retrieve the wallet that was lost. and maybe you'll know by the end of the stream. Who knows? Such a wallet loser. What's going on? Yeah.
Losing their wallets, the cats and the dogs.
The cats, the dogs, the wallets getting lost all the time.
Everybody's everywhere.
And I'm hoping you guys will be able to kind of pick up, like, I'm not sure how good this mic is, but hopefully you guys will be able to pick up what's being said. It's kind of fun times. So what I'm working on right now, this is, I finished page like 159 of Not Death But Love. And now I'm working on roughs. So I'm going to continue to rough out the next few pages, try to get as many done today as possible. So for this stream, I'm probably going to be working on 163. And so where we're at in the story is Elizabeth is on the balcony of Casa Gaidi, and they're overlooking the city. And we find out that basically Sophie Eckler, the character that's like creepily obsessed with Elizabeth, has been asked by Robert, Elizabeth's husband, to not basically hang out with them during their vacation because of her ill health, because she's hopped up on laudanum. And Sophie shows up anyway to give her basically like deliver like she writes a letter to Elizabeth, kind of plays on her sympathies. So now we're flashing forward to a scene on the roof where now Sophie and Elizabeth are talking, and the conversation's steered towards death. And Sophie has asked Elizabeth why she's not afraid of death, and that's what I'm thumbnailing right now. Is in the script, Elizabeth gazes out at the city.
Josh, show me your on-air sign.
So that we're saying things that are appropriate for stream. I was lent this beautiful on-air sign by Keith Foster, which is pretty cool. I want one for my house. That'd be fun.
Shut up.
That means none of you can spit now. But yeah, so it's an interesting scene. I'm trying to kind of work it out and figure out how to, like, Elizabeth gazing out at the city, and then she's talking about, I don't like, it's very emo kind of moment, where she says, I don't like the idea of going into darkness. I wish I knew with certainty what awaits me. So that's basically where we're at, and that's the panel I'm trying to kind of. We've already shown like the skyline of Italy, and so I'm like here. I just want to focus on her kind of gazing out. So we'll see how that works out, and getting the basic head shape of Sophie here in the foreground.
Josh, can we be your Joe Rogan crew?
You guys should totally talk a lot. Have fun. Yeah. Jim, can you look up like
Jimmy. Can you...
Yeah, you could be Jimmy instead of Jimmy.
Yeah, so we've had a pretty fun trip so far. We last night I got here around like 5, and it was, I felt bad because I thought I was getting here late because I had set up my classroom, stuff like that, and then got some stuff to bring here and drove here. And then it turns out I'm like a minute after Jim and Scott showed up, Jim and Scott Circland to the cabin. So, and then Gary was here too. And then we had Scott Lost, and then also Keith Foster were already waiting here. So we all kind of hung out, did a lot of art, a lot of joking around. And it was kind of weird because last year I feel like we had like, when we got here, we all partied a lot and then we didn't really get to work too heavy till like the next day. But I feel like this time, because we got here earlier, we kind of were able to get a lot done. I don't know. It seemed like a pretty productive night.
I did a lot.
Yeah, you did.
You did what?
Lauden?
Lauden.
Yeah,
Laudanum.
I can't even say it.
Yeah. That's yeah. Well, I mean, it was supposed to cure your headache, you know.
Can you tell us more about Laudanum?
Jim was asking to talk about laudanum.
Jim was comatose last year.
Laudanum is hilarious. Yeah, Elizabeth, at the time, this thing called opium tincture or laudanum was like a popular medical relief, particularly for women with anxiety. And then what would happen is women with anxiety would prescribed laudanum by their doctors, and then they'd start getting all these extra symptoms like of an opium addict. And then they'd be like, wow, you're having like sleepiness all the time and your stomach has all these pains. And so then they prescribed more laudanum. And so it wasn't uncommon at the time for the kind of upper echelons of like Victorian society, especially women in that era, to be, addicts of laudanum, because it was just like over the counter, kind of like, oh, you got a headache? Take some Tylenol. They'd just be like, oh, just take a couple spoonfuls of opium and you're good to go.
A spoonful
Yeah. But I mean, it's a weird era in time because like Coca-Cola was called Coca-Cola because it had cocaine in it at the time. And if you look at this is one of the funniest things from the Victorian era. If you look at like old Victorian ads, of Coca-Cola at the time, they just like advertise all the ways you would feel if you took cocaine, and they'd be like Coca-Cola, and like, so it'd be like relieves fatigue and like all this other stuff. Like, it's so funny. Yeah.
It's the real thing. Weight loss.
Yeah. Helps with weight loss and money loss. If you're stock trading in New York, it's a very, very popular beverage.
If your jaw is absolutely still,
Get the jaw wiggles. The jaw wiggles.
Worst kid show ever.
The jaw wiggles.
Mr. Jaw Wiggle.
So I don't know if you guys can hear this, so I'm going to recap a little bit. Jim said the worst kids show ever is the jaw wiggles. Let me tell you about the oh my gosh, I'm blanking out. We were talking about these earlier, the swarms of drones. Yeah, that would be the jaw wiggle conversation. You see the drones, man? So anyhow, it's a fun day. We went out for breakfast this morning at this like really like awesome breakfast place, and just good conversation, good company. And the cool thing about these kind of meetups that I like, made me look forward to it, is it's a rare opportunity to have a group of people who are like, let's vacation and just work all vacation on stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's been fun. I've gotten to see some sneak peeks of the next unicornians, and yeah. So I'm pretty excited about all the art that's going on, the conversations about art, and all that stuff.
But I'm just not used to. I mean, like he does.
I have to remind myself of what the costume is here. What is the costume?
Like it seems like a lot, like way more than he would normally do. This is almost reminds me of McFarlane.
Do you have any questions from the audience?
Yeah, do we have any questions from the audience of Streamies? Usually it takes a bit for folks to show.
It's interesting.
We haven't been attacked by bears yet. That's been good.
Fingers crossed.
The last time we were here, I was still vaping at the time, and so I would go to the patio to vape, like, because that's what you do when you're a smoker, because you're an addict, right? So I would go out to the patio like every 20, 30 minutes, and each time I'd go out there, I'd be like looking around, like just thinking a bear's just gonna jump out and murder me.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Nice.
Okay. Identity theft is no problem.
All right, we got this. We're having them kind of look out records, some stuff.
I mean, 3 more today, but basically it's just conversation. But I haven't seen them. Those are published. Yeah. Oh, they are up? Oh. basically like the warrior monk ninja diagrams.
And then I'm overhearing Corey talk about Warrior Monk Ninjas, which is a character from his comic that I really dig, actually. So if you guys have not seen that, check out Rage of Enlightenment by Corey Kerr. But yeah, it's really beautiful up here. It really does kind of feel like you're out in the woods. There's not like a ton of like stores and stuff around or distractions, so
We're the distraction.
it's pretty nice. Yeah, we're our own distraction.
Our own distraction.
I've become my own prison. A hurry for God. So just trying to kind of keep the plants that are in the background. And the fun thing about, unfortunately, we had to like kind of put it on mute because like I'm streaming, but it's like usually Keith, like the second you step in here, there's like Blue Note jazz playing and like really just well curated music. So it's a really inspiring environment to kind of get to work. And then a bunch of people brought just different comics that they were inspired by and stuff. So those were like scattered out throughout kind of the living room. So it's like if somebody wants to just kind of take a inspiration break, you know. But yeah, it's a fun kind of kickoff to end the year. I'm guessing we're doing this yearly. I hope.
Yeah. I think we are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. Those both things happen. I'm trying to figure out the best order for that piece.
So will all those events happen regardless of the order? Like
So here now I have to write this dialogue.
injury reveal and then.
I will write it right now. I don't
What is the point?
like
What is the protest showing protest? What is that?
the
There's an escalation of
idea. And I don't know if you guys can hear in the background, but like it's one of the things that's inspiring about doing this hangout is like in the background I'm overhearing Gary like troubleshoot script stuff with Corey. And it's just kind of fun to like hear creatives going back and forth.
He's gonna put down that protest by doing something they would think is just massive in the amount of I heard of, which would be he's hired birds. I see. So where's the
I don't like the idea of going into darkness.
Yeah, he got injured already.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So they were kind of out of the town.
So I figured I'll live stream for like, probably about an hour. Going.
Then we're gonna go to dinner later.
Yeah, we're planning on all heading out to dinner. Where is the place? Well, maybe we shouldn't mention the place. Like there's.
We don't want all the fans.
Yeah, I mean just swarms of
Paparazzi.
fans and paparazzi like locusts. I wish I knew. But yeah, the area that we went to eat, we're going to that same place, right? It's really cool. It's like there's like a lake and then like this kind of little shopping area like next to the lake with like all sorts of curios and stuff. Last time, I think Corey actually got inspired to do his comic based on this shop we stopped by that had these like absurdly strange like relics of like different dinosaur stuff. And then like the thing that inspired Corey was they had these bizarre bugs, like preserved bugs. And he saw some of them and was like, oh, I like drawing bugs. And I don't know. Because I remember at that time, I think he was experiencing like a bit of a block on like what to work on next. And then that kind of opened it up, which was cool. And then the fun thing about working across from Jim Lujan is every time I get a peek over there, there's another panel and there's something hilarious in it every time.
Josh, take your glasses off and fold them.
Yeah.
I'm drawing that right now. What I'm drawing?
Like
folded
folded like
glasses
this,
on the ground,
like
folded.
face down
Yeah.
or the other way.
Yeah, like that.
I hear. I
got it. That's it.
I can kind of see nearsighted, so I'll hang till you have your drawing.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's the cleanest pose Jim has had us strike while drawing.
Gentlemen, please put your clothes back on.
When we showed up here, I don't know why, but Jim put on, Madonna's strike a pose, like Vogue.
Vogue.
And he was like, strike a pose, you guys, for drawing together.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Good.
Thank you. My glasses are going to be having a cameo in a Jim Lujan cartoon.
And now I'm drawing their underwear, Josh. I just need a quick favor.
That's Jim's technique. Get the yes early and then make the big ask. I wish I knew with certainty what awaits me.
Are you saying that, or is your character?
It could be either. Certainty. What?
How well do you feel like you know these characters now, Josh?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel pretty. Yeah, I feel like I know these characters pretty well. Yeah. That is something that happens. I feel like for me, and I'm maybe Jim, I don't know how much. Again, we don't have a ton of people here, so but if you're watching, and you can let us know if you can hear Jim, that would be cool. But Jim was asking like how close I feel to the characters at this point, and I do feel like this thing happens that's kind of magical when you hit like page 100. And this has happened for each graphic novel I've worked on, where at that point, everyone and everything about it feels really familiar. And so it is like living in a world in slow motion for a little bit, but it's like a world of people and a place But then every once in a while, like whenever there's like a major location change of a place that I'm not familiar with, and then I have to do research that, will kind of reset it to like unfamiliar for a little bit. But yeah, it is interesting. I feel like it's about the like page 100 where you really start, like, you even empathize with the characters a lot and stuff like that, more than you might have like in the original stages. I know, like, even Jacob's apartment, by the time I was done with that, like, I really wanted them to get together, the two characters. And I was like, I can't. It's not going to work that way. It just can't.
That's Team Jacob.
Yeah. But it was funny because I got to that part and I was like, this poor kid. Like, it's interesting. What about you, Jim? Do you have like times like where you? Oh, is that the wallet?
No, that's not me.
I was hoping that was the wallet.
No, I wish it was.
This is the beers.
My question, what?
I had done the same thing. Yeah.
Do I empathize with them?
Yeah, like how long? Like, is there a point when you're working on a cartoon where the characters like maybe even before having a move where they start, or like in the editing process where it really starts to feel real? Like, I don't know.
You get I get invested, but I know where they're going.
Yeah.
So it's about I guess it's really about getting them to that point where they need to be at in the right way.
Yeah, but do you ever like find yourself putting them in a point and being like, well, poor kid, or like,
Yeah. No.
No?
I hate my characters.
Oh, okay. There is a character that I dislike a lot because we wrote her to be disliked,
Really?
which is Sophie. She's a full character, so there's some sympathetic qualities, but overall she's kind of just evil. Evil. And then Gary is arriving with the Coronas.
Do you need a Corona?
I could go for a Corona. I got to work on this too, but all work
Ooh,
together.
that's good. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you, sir. Amazing.
What's
Look at
going
that.
on?
Hello, one person who's watching. How's it going?
Okay. Is that my mom?
That's a Hodges of Gary.
That was a Hodges of Gary.
This is a Lujan of Jim.
Jim Lujan, where'd you put the wine?
Right there on the table.
All right.
Right in front of you.
Oh, there you go.
So we had Coronas, and then Gary and who was the person who recommended setting? Oh, I think Keith recommended putting it in the freezer and setting a timer for an hour. So now we have these like ice cold Coronas. They're delicious.
That's good stuff.
And it's like daytime, so you know, I feel like daytime drinking, you need something
Yeah,
light.
we're not operating any heavy machinery.
Yeah, that's true. We're all of age.
Is it 516?
But yeah, I always find it really interesting when you're working on a book. Like for me, like with the book, it takes a while to just get used to drawing the characters and imagining them and stuff like that. So it, yeah, I don't know. For me, it doesn't really crack till about page 100, and then it's like, okay. Only problem is I become so familiar with the characters that if I'm not paying attention, I was mentioning this before, I've had many times where I'm like drawing a rough, and I'll spend like 10, 15 minutes drawing like a character in a scene from the script, and without realizing that it's the wrong character, because it's like I accidentally gave them the haircut of the other character. Do you ever do that, Jim? Where you're just find yourself drawing and like it's like, oh yeah, this is perfect, except I drew the wrong guy.
Other things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's inevitable with sequential stuff. Or like another one that happens is the like, wow, he was holding a like maybe it's a action scene and you have a guy holding a gun in one panel, and then the next panel the gun's just disappeared or it switched hands. That's always a tough one to avoid too. Oh my gosh, lime! Thank you. Scott Loss brings the lime. That was beautiful. Even more perfect. But yeah, I feel like this is a great way. Like for me, the timing of this works out really well because I'm starting the school year like literally on Monday. So it's like a send off of the summer, which is really cool. And then getting to see so many friends from like out of state too is like such a just really cool thing. And then I know like Scott Lost is up in San Diego and stuff. So it's like we're not always, you know, right close to each other. Jim, do you still do like a lot of art meetups or not as often anymore?
No, you guys are my art meetup.
Yeah, I feel like this is my art meetup that's sustainable and rad.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I don't
There's
mind.
other kinds of meetups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special meetups.
Yeah. Special friends. Right.
I feel like next time we should make like special meetup badges, you know, like a lapel pin or something.
Nice. Thank you. Messing around.
I like it.
But
Yeah, I heard you asking earlier. You're just like, where would they meet up? Let's pick a better place. I guess it's pretty good. Flower.
What is that?
wait, where's the location?
They're hooking up in like a file room, a records building.
In the file room.
Yeah.
with the oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You know.
Hooking up in the records room.
If any of you have hooked up in the records room, leave a comment.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. Smash that button.
Smash that. Like you smashed it in the record room.
Like he smashed it in the record. That's the one thing that I wish I could somehow translate is just like there's so much laughing at this thing, like it's ridiculous. I think the last Crestline meetup, it was like Sunday morning.
Could have been Sunday morning.
Could have been Sunday morning.
Could have been Sunday morning.
And Jim just started coming up with this like bit, and we were like workshopping this bit for like hours at like an ungodly like I don't know, it was probably like 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't know.
It was 3, I think.
It was anyhow. It was really early,
Yeah.
and then everybody else kind of gradually would wake up and walk into the room with Jim and I like tearing up, laughing. Like it's
Well,
just
first they were like, "What are you guys
Yeah.
laughing about?"
yeah. Then we'd run through it again and it would get funnier.
Scott Cirkman was there.
Yeah, Cirque was there.
Yeah, he was there. He got the experience.
Well, I think we woke him up though.
No, he's at the table.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah, because I think he was one of the first up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was late at night. We never went to bed.
Yeah.
And Scott
That's
was
it.
up. The three of us
Yes.
were up. And
Yes.
everybody else was asleep, and we were laughing like madmen at 3 a.m., 2 a.m.
Yeah, and it's like that delusional laughter you get. Like, so it was at night, not in the morning. Yeah.
Kevin Cross just shout out to Kevin Cross.
Shout out to the Kevin Cross out there. The cross of Kevin. He bears a heavy cross. I'm gonna move this. This is bugging me because orphans can't have orphans around here. So I'm changing that to say awaits me next to each other, not me just sitting there. All right. So we're at about the 30-minute mark, and I'm going to go for about another 30 minutes. So Kevin's audio bits, like you may not be able to hear them, but Jim gave me a sneak explanation of what they're for, and just me visually imagining that. That's kind of perfect. Oh, and then Scott, which of your comics are you working on right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I heard Scott and I didn't hear this.
Yeah.
I'm working on a noir story for the Accidental Aliens.
Accidental Aliens?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's like a very Frank Miller Sin City inspired style that I'm messing around
Do a
with.
cameo.
I love
Yeah,
it.
we'll do a cameo.
Here's a cameo.
Hey, can I?
My boy
can I
Scott.
Can I pitch something?
Pitch it.
All right, Artcasters is going to be on this channel tonight, later tonight. We don't know exactly what time
Yeah.
after dinner, but
And-
we'll all be doing a round table.
Yeah, you'll get like a better view of everybody and a better idea of like what all everybody's been doing at the meetup and some of our takeaways, and there might even be like friendly bonding. You never know.
There might be Pam Bondi.
Yeah, or who knows? Maybe there will be like a blow up and broken friendships. Who knows what's going to go down? You'll have to tune in and find out. All right, so panel 2. So now it's going to be Sophie saying, "What of the miracles you have witnessed in Mr. Holmes' company and in mine?" Elizabeth doesn't answer at first, and I have to remember to have that be part of the text, because Elizabeth doesn't answer first.
Right,
Is a description.
While you draw, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can. You don't even have to ask if you can ask me.
My question is, while Josh draws, because I want to stop his progress. My question is the Victorian accent. That is a watering down of an English accent over the years, right? Yeah, the English accent became the Victorian accent.
Or are you talking about like the old timey?
The American.
Yeah. What did they call that? Like old movies had. It was called New.
No.
Or mid. It had mid-Atlantic, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was kind of a weird Victorian. Yeah, in early black and white movies, when they first got sound, there was like this trend that carried over from the theater, where they just thought it was really sophisticated sounding to have people talk like this.
Yes. Yeah,
And it had like a enunciation to it. You see, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like almost like the gangster voice, where it's like, yeah, Shane, that's what we're gonna do. But it was like more kind of like, Well, I'll tell you one thing. You
Yeah,
know,
but they talk like this, and they talk like that.
yeah.
I'm not that kind of game. You're not gonna.
But yeah, the Mid-Atlantic thing's really interesting because it's like a lot of people like Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, they all did the Mid-Atlantic thing. I always wonder if Cary Grant actually sounded like that. Like, I've never seen him not sound like that in interviews and stuff, but I wonder if his friends were just talking to him, if he just sounded like a normal dude.
Yeah. I always wonder if Cary Grant is related to Lou Grant from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
I just kind of wonder, like, wouldn't it be strange to hang out with somebody who had that's just how they talked, was Mid-Atlantic all the time? I'd be like, so, Jim, what are you doing there, buddy?
That's a fine set of mind they got there, Jim.
That's a fine set of gams.
Fine set of gams there for a gal like me. I'm not some two-bit floozy from the Tropicana.
Yeah, it's an interesting era. Okay, I've got a question from chat saying, by the way, can you guys Gizdraw Forever? I can never pronounce. I don't know. It's GZDR4EV. Anyhow, you were asking, have you ever done something crazy like use drops of your blood on a panel that had a blood splatter scene?
Corey does that all the time.
Yeah, Corey just all his art
Other
is done in
people's
blood, other people's blood. So he's kind of like that villain in the Daredevil series that uses blood to create artwork. No, I have the closest to anything like blood related. Oh, Game Zone Doctor Forever. Okay, I'll try to remember that. But yeah, the closest I ever got to something like that would be on stage a long time ago. When I played guitar, I played really heavy strings, and I played poorly. And when I played really poorly with guitar, because I was a new guitarist at the time, and I played too hard on the strings, and the strings would like basically rub against my finger until my fingers bled. And so there were a few shows where when I finished the show, I'd look at my guitar and it was like covered in blood, and I was like, "That's crazy." But it was just like literally because the strings would hit like this like part right above my cuticle, and it would just split. And but yeah, I don't know about like blood related art. I've made art with coffee before, and I've definitely had those late nights when you're traditionally inking and spilled coffee on a original comic page.
I'll make art with blood, Crips, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. Jim was saying he makes art with Bloods, Crips. He doesn't pick sides. It's LA United. But yeah, Game Zone Doctor Forever. If you can hear like when Jim's talking, let us know, because I'm not familiar with this mic, so I'm not sure what all like directionally it's going to pick up. I know that for Artcasters, I think Corey brought a lavalier mic, so we'll be using that. A couple lavaliers. Is it lavalier or lavalier? Yeah.
I don't know what that means as far as you put it on your clavicle. Lavalier, is that
clavicle ear?
He brought two turntables and a microphone.
Two turntables and a microphone. Where it's at.
Corey brought.
Yeah, Corey just came busting rhymes like a mad MC. Like when we were heading for food, somebody stopped Corey on the street and was like, "You better spit the best rhyme of your life," and Corey did. We passed by safely. We thought they had pulled out switchblades to like threaten us with it, and then when Corey spit his mad rhymes afterwards, they hit it and it was just a comb. They were like, "You're all right, kid." In the hard streets of Crestline. Okay, so this one is, now I want to focus on, like, with a dialogue scene, I always want to kind of keep whoever the people are involved in the conversation. Usually doing the Wally Woods like panels that always work, you'll notice like he'll take interesting angles where most of the time you're still seeing both speakers, because what you want to avoid is just like floating heads where it's like one guy talks and it's just one shot and then switches and you never really see like over shoulder or anything like that because it can kind of take you out of it. So, but in this scenario, because I've been doing a lot of shots where you're seeing both people in the conversation in this particular scene, I think I will just focus in on Sophie just so that you really feel what she's saying. And then I'll probably make it like a scratch and sniff or something so you really feel what she's saying, you know. Did you know, like, okay, this is a question for you, Jim.
Yes.
There was an era where Ren and Stimpy had a comic.
Yes.
And their first issue came with a scratch and sniff air freshener of Stimpy that smelled like cat litter. It was kind of amazing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. We have, and that's actually how I got my sister into comics, the Ren and Stimpy comics.
Really?
Because I couldn't get my sisters into comics at all, and I would do the Wednesday runs to like to the comic shop like every week, and I'd bike there because it was like a distance from my house. When I was young, I used to bike, but anyhow, I'd bike there. I'd like peruse the long boxes. Sometimes I would convince the comic shop owner to let me help them stock in exchange for free comics. So, like, if they had back issues or things that like new incoming shipments they needed to kind of sort, I would work there for free for like an hour and a half or two, just in exchange for a comic. But anyhow, I always wanted to find comics, so I'd pick up ones for me and my pull list and stuff like that, and then I'd pick up like one or two just tryouts of stuff. But if I saw anything that I thought they might like, I would pick it up and then give it to them and try to get them into comics because it was like a thing I loved. I was like, you guys got to be into this. And Ren and Stimpy was the one that cracked the code. Yeah. Which is cool because my sister's now a librarian and she's like at a different high school than the one I teach at, but she's like always advocating to get graphic novels in the library. I feel like I played a small part in that.
TCAF, the librarian show?
TCAF's the one in that's Toronto.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I went to that. I know there's a library one. It's like ALA or so, the American Library Association.
I think he just went to that.
Yeah, that's supposedly a killer show because, like, I will say this: like, I've had times, like, especially when I was conventioning a lot, where somebody would come by my booth and they would have like a little piece of paper and they'd ask about like quantities that I had available. Like,
really?
And usually, you know, they were really friendly and stuff. And then they'd be like, okay, I'll be right back. And then they'd come back and be like, okay, so I work for this library, so I'll take 40 of those, like 20 of those. And you're like, you're my best friend. Like, they're the coolest people. They, you know, it's not unusual for like to be loved by anyone, you know, but it's not unusual to have like for librarians to like go to comic conventions to get stock for like their libraries and stuff, which is cool. That was actually one of the things I was really stoked about with Graphic Mundi, the people who did Jacob's Apartment, was we had a lot of before the release of the book, there were a lot of events that they as a publisher organized where we'd meet with like the buyers for different libraries and explain the book and let them do Q&A and stuff, just to like, you know, let librarians know like, hey, this is something you should pay attention to. And I think that's important in comics because I do think librarians are like a huge superpower in comics. Did we hear back?
No.
Okay.
which is I was happy to hear.
Yeah, Kevin was on Artcasters earlier in the week, and it was awesome to talk to him. It's always good to see Kevin and see what he's up to and see him being productive and making cool stuff. Yeah, and he talked about like live streaming and like different YouTube strategies and stuff, which was a good conversation. Yeah. I will say the only issue I ever have when we have Kevin on is like, because we're friends, like we get very sidetracked on like just random topics, but it was fun and it was a good conversation. I just feel bad because I tend to derail from topics quite often, but like with Kevin, I feel like I just pull him off the tracks like all the time. And then I'm like, did we even get to the topic? Like, but it was a good conversation, good content. Okay. What of the miracles? Okay, I got to focus on the words here. Focus on the words. Close your eyes and free your mind. Focus on these words. All right, we got Game Zone asking, have you ever experimented with adding text in the person's hair to convey either inner thought or spoken dialogue? The bubble where it currently sits takes up a lot of real estate. More art could be added in that space. There's a thing. I think that's actually that could be really cool instead of a thought bubble, to just have thoughts actually appear in somebody, like in their head. Like I think it might be hard. The problem is a lot of it can look really unintentional. So I feel like when you're making panels and word balloons, I'm a staunch believer in making space for them in your composition rather than kind of slapping them over the art. I feel like there's a pretty clear aesthetic difference when people are kind of trying to squeeze text into art rather than design art around the text. But it does take up a lot of real estate, which is why I think you need to have minimal text on pages. I don't think you should have like paragraphs and paragraphs of text on a page. There's always exceptions, but
No, that's all that guy said. So he says it in
Yeah, that's interesting.
all right. So it's going to be what of the miracles?
Hey, there he is.
You caught us, we're drinking.
Voice. You had to turn off your music.
So what of the miracles you have witnessed in Mr. Holmes' company?
Or whatever. You know, like basically. I feel like that's like not interesting.
I think I might want to draw in Gary Swamp notebook.
In his notebook?
In his sketchbook.
I think you should sneak in a little gift.
I think I'm going to add to it.
Yeah. How many penises can you add to that box?
Depends on what planet they're from.
That's true. These are aliens. Are in mine. Okay. Okay, I almost did another orphan here. Okay, in. Okay, in mine. Okay, so we have like the rough text space. So that's why I add, just to tack onto that, that's why I add text in my roughs. Like right now I'm working on a rough. Why I add all the text at the rough stage is because of my firm conviction that just makes for better comics to have completely anticipated and designed your page to fit text rather than the inverse. And that was a hard lesson because I think Jacob's Apartment, when I did that, I did it the opposite, where I do all the art and then kind of have an idea of the text and then kind of slap it over the art. And that ended up being counterintuitive in a bunch of ways, where I would then have to edit the art to fit around the text, and it ended up being more of a pain than just designing it right in the first place. So, yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's her. Oh, yeah, she's good.
Nikki and is that Nathan? No. Trish. Something maybe.
Oh, is that Trish?
That would be cool.
Travis?
Comic book with all images, but with UV glasses that show invisible ink dialogue boxes. That could be cool. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this this particular panel, the thumbnail for this, and then I'm probably going to call it on the stream. Just doing a short little check-in. Let's see here. But in this dialogue, it's going to be kind of neat because we're going to start to see Elizabeth actually, because Elizabeth generally kind of trusts Sophie as like a straight shooter and like a friend. And she kind of chalks up a lot of like Sophie's quirkiness to like, well, she's naive and like she views her as this like innocent dove kind of a character. And we know as readers at this point, behind the scenes, she's kind of plotting to try to kind of ruin Elizabeth's life. But in this dialogue, you're going to start seeing that that Elizabeth is starting to catch on to like some things that don't quite line up. And in this conversation, she's going to start kind of questioning Holmes' seances that they've been to. Just in a weird way where, you know, she's going to say, I wonder in all our experiments, why no spirit of mine ever made itself known and stuff like that. But she's also going to be revealing that she's, you know, really hoping to speak to her brother, who she lost, you know. And so it's an interesting scene. But here, instead of rambling, I should draw. So let me draw this panel.
Does she ever say I see dead people?
She said something real close at the beginning here. She said, I don't like the idea of going into darkness. I wish I knew with certainty what awaits me. And then ... I see dead people. Not love people. That's what it is. I see dead people, not love people. That's how all the pages end in this book, where the last panel, there's always death and love in every single. It's like, you look deathly ill. I love when you say that. It's just, that's why it's called Not Death but Love. Okay. But yeah, it was funny because when I started streaming, you guys probably didn't even see this, but when I started streaming, I was kind of saying who all's in the room. Everybody's working real hard, and just at that point when I had hit record, I look over at Corey and he was just chewing on food. And it was just funny to me that might be the perception, because it's the complete opposite. Where Corey's the only guy here who's been like on point, like just crazy productive. And then we've been like working a little bit. I'll eat some food, like, you know. So it was just a funny.
The Scots have been working the entire time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, don't believe him.
But everybody's been pretty productive, you know.
Josh was tired of talking to us about the live stream. Josh was on the live stream. Oh, you know, you passed out. Up in there.
But I will be ending the live stream in we got about 10 minutes left.
And I'm never streaming again.
And I'm never going to return.
You'll see. I'll show you.
I'll show you all. I'll show you all how to live stream. No, it has been fun to kind of check in with you guys. I wanted to do it because I promised I was going to. So, and then Jim was actually reminding me like you should stream. And so I'm kind of glad just to give you guys like a little snapshot of where we're at on the weekend and our retreat. And I think it's been successful so far. But if you want to hear more about it, definitely stick around. I'm guessing it'll be probably. What do you think, Scott, for time?
Oh,
like
probably like 9 or 10 tonight, right?
For like streaming? Yeah, it'll probably be. Yeah, we're going out to eat. Yeah, so I'm guessing Artcasters will be much later tonight. So, but make sure you guys, have subscribed to the newsletter and. Yeah, but I'm gonna safely say earliest would be 9, and then probably anything, 10ish and that kind of stuff. 10ish being what was the stupid tennis joke? Do you remember it, Jim? It's like I'm blanking out. There's a classic tennis joke and I can't remember it. It was related to Sean. Oh, what's Sean Connery's favorite sport? That was it. Or what time does Sean Connery play his favorite sport? Tennis. That's yeah.
Yeah, going straight to it.
So anyhow, thanks you guys for tuning in. I know it was kind of short, but you guys are awesome. I will say, and we'll get into it more tonight, but as I said in the last Crestline, I can't reiterate how awesome it is to find communities of artists that you vibe with, that are kind of driven and all creating inspiring work and interested in the thing, and then try to get to know these people and have meetups and stuff. It's fun.
I'm waiting for them. Yeah.
So anyhow, with that non-extremely dramatic ending, I'm going to call it. Thanks, guys, and I will see you on the next live stream.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that button.
As Jim said, like, subscribe, hit the button, all that fun stuff. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. We're going to be going late tonight, so stick around for later. So make sure you've hit the bell, all that kind of stuff. We'll be doing proper Artcasters later tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to crumble!
I'm Joshua Kemble, and welcome to Joshua Kemble's live stream. I've been a freelance illustrator and graphic designer for over 20 years. I was an art director for 9 years. And when I'm not art directing and working on illustrations and graphic designs, I'm working on comic books and graphic novels, and that's usually what I do during my streams. And while conversations can go all over the place on this stream, from spicy and entertaining to goofy and silly, one thing stays consistent throughout every stream. I'll always be working on art. So pull up a chair, get your art supplies out, and get ready for an entertaining show that'll keep you company while you work on your own personal art projects. This is Joshua Kemble's Art Stream.